Daria, a faraway planet covered in green wasteland that looks like an overgrown field. Parts of ships, weapons, and other battle instruments are scattered everywhere. A dark hooded figure stands over the green wasteland. You can hear nothing but the wind whistling. In the hooded figure's hand is a knife. They kneel down in the dirt and begin to write some form of language into a rock. After the scribbling is finished, they step back to reveal Gallifreyan writing. Suddenly, there's a whooshing noise. A colourful rip in time opens behind the hooded figure. Tilda, a silver-haired woman wearing all white clothing which looks like it came straight from ancient Greece, steps through the rip and onto the wasteland. The rip closes behind her, and Tilda stands still, staring at the hooded figure.
I thought I would find you here. You do know there's other worlds out there. You don't need to keep coming back to this one. Besides, there's nothing here for you now. Fine. Stay silent. But hear this. You are respected, loved, and worshipped by the people you saved. The war could have had a much harder impact on our people, and look on the bright side.
It's over now. You told me that when you left 3 weeks ago, and still here I am.
Suddenly, the hooded figure turns to face Tilda to reveal the Doctor. Time has been unkind to him, and he cannot remember which regeneration he is on. He is bearded and has a scar underneath his right eye.
Yes, exactly. Here you are, standing on the battlefield, waiting for another battle, which is not going to come. Rather than standing in the safe walls of Arcadia.
Safe? Tilda, how do you know Arcadia is safe? We battled a vast amount of different species. How do you know that a Zygon didn't come back on the ships
Doctor,
to
we've
infiltrate
spoken
her?
about this. We scanned every single life form that entered the ships to return. And you can also be rest assured that no other Time Lord or Lady on Gallifrey will ever do the same as her again. Not after their losses. Even the red corners of Gallifrey have become more subdued, which has never happened before in the millions of years of our existence.
Yep, Tilda the White, the peacekeeper of Gallifrey, one of the found survivors. Here you are, still sectioning off the people you rule into a category of origin. I'm pretty sure I made a massive speech 80 years ago on this very battlefield for the change I expected when the battle was done and the new Gallifrey rises, and banishing discrimination against source of origin was one of those terms, wasn't it?
Yes. I apologise, Doctor. We are all eternally grateful for what you did to save us, not once, but twice. However, no one is more thankful than me. So whatever I can do to show you my gratitude, I will. Now, will you return with me? Please.
No.
So rather than return home a hero, you're going to spend the rest of your days living in the pain of the days in the war that has passed.
No, I'm going to do what I do best.
And what's that?
Run.
The Doctor takes his sonic screwdriver out of his coat and zaps it into an empty space in the green wasteland. Suddenly, the TARDIS begins to materialise on top of the Doctor. Tilda looks shocked.
See ya!
The TARDIS, looking very battered and bruised, lands, bringing the Doctor inside the console room. Tilda is stunned. Suddenly the TARDIS begins to dematerialise. Tilda runs up and tries to enter, but the doors are locked. She bangs the doors.
Please, Doctor, don't do this, please. We need you. I need you. I can't do this myself. Doctor, stop.
The battered TARDIS dematerialises completely, leaving Tilda behind, with a tear dripping down her face. She wipes the tear just as the rip in time opens, and she steps through, closing the rip behind her. All that is left on Daria is the green wasteland, the whistling of the wind, and the Gallifreyan writing on the rock. Doctor Who, Beginnings of Battle, written by Lewis C. Baird. Present day, midnight in Edinburgh, Scotland. Sophie, a young stylish Irishwoman, is walking with her friends, Debbie and Megan. They're all dolled up for going out. Each of them have alcohol in their hands, and they're strutting the streets, ready to party.
You both know that I definitely am going to pass that exam next week. I mean, minus revision tonight, of course, but...
Minus revision tonight? You're having a laugh, Megan. The only time I've ever seen you revise was when you were checking out Sean McMillan in the library. And even at that, I would hardly call it revision. More like drooling into your nursing handbook.
Sophie, that is so not true.
Oh, I hate to tell you, but it really is, Megan.
Yeah, well, Debbie, you would be saying that, seeing as he winced you during grad ball.
Shut up! He did not! I told you that in secret.
Oh? Seems like you girls have both got your hands on big Sean McMillan.
Oh, what about you then, Sophie?
What about me?
Well, who've you got your eye on then?
Well, I'm currently looking at you, Megan, and unfortunately it's not a very pretty sight.
Oh, oi!
You know what she meant, come on. What's the tea?
1 cup of green tea a day keeps the doctor away. Oh, wait, that's an apple. But still, it's dead healthy for you.
Oh, boring.
Come on, Soph.
Oh, girls, I don't have time for boys. They're just a bloody nuisance. And besides, if I am genuinely going to qualify as a psychologist at the end of this semester, then I better get my head down, rather than drooling at dull uni lads, or even worse, Spice Boys.
Fair play. Well, why don't we try and get you set up with someone tonight?
Definitely not.
Oh, come on, Soph. I could be your wing woman.
I'll say it once again. Definitely not. Also, I have seen the things you bring home at night. Not a chance.
I promise you right now, Sophie, I will get you a sexy Scottish man with an amazing body and an on-point beard.
Oh, who in God's name wants a man with a beard? Kissing someone with half their breakfast, lunch and dinner still attached to their face? No, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens when you get to bees.
Bees? Oh no, not bees. It smells of feet and sick in there.
12 a.m. Bees nightclub, Edinburgh. The 3 girls dance the night away, music blaring, the girls mainly dancing together. Sophie pushes away any creepy male that comes close to her. Time moves on, and by 2 a.m, Sophie gets tired and bored. Megan and Debbie both have guys dancing with them.
Listen, girls, I am absolutely shattered. I'm so sorry, but I think I'm gonna head.
What? Oh no, you can't leave. I thought we were splitting the taxi fare. And I can't be bothered walking back, not in these colours.
Yeah, I've only got like £10 left in my bank, and that is hardly enough to get back to the flat. So, can you not just wait for us?
Nah, sorry, girls, I'm really not feeling it. Here, take this.
Sophie hands Debbie a £10 note.
I'll walk back.
No way! You are not walking back yourself. What if you get jumped?
Then they'll get decked. No one's gonna mess with me. Trust me, I'll be fine. It's a 20-minute walk.
Sophie, it's 2 a.m. There are mental people out there. I'll walk you halfway.
No, you stay right here. You're enjoying yourself. I'll be absolutely fine. I'll catch you guys later.
Sophie makes her way to the club's exit.
Okay, be safe.
Before Sophie leaves the club, she turns round to look at Debbie and Megan, only to be confronted with the sight of them kissing the boys they were dancing with. Sophie laughs, rolls her eyes, and leaves the club. 2:30 am. Sophie's walked for a bit. She's bumped into drunken men, a hen do, and the police. She reaches a pretty quiet road. She's in a world of her own, when suddenly she's disturbed by a groan down a pitch dark alleyway. She stops and looks down the dark and dingy alleyway. No noise. She shakes her head and begins to move on, when suddenly she hears a shuffle. She turns around and stops.
Hello? Is anybody there?
There's deep breathing and shuffling coming from the alleyway.
Hello?
Suddenly, a homeless man is thrown from the alleyway onto the road and smashes into a car. Sophie is shocked. The people get out of the car and run to help the homeless man, on the floor and unconscious. Sophie is frozen in shock. She then turns her head slowly. In front of her in the alleyway is a dark creature. It looks half human, half dog, with no face, only teeth. Its skin is black and looks like a matte texture. Sophie is terrified. Suddenly the creature gives out an almighty roar. This gets the attention of the driver and the passenger of the car. They see the creature and begin to run. Sophie goes to run, but she is stopped. As suddenly, there's a huge pulse of energy coming from her and going directly into the creature. There's a blurry white energy pouring out of her. She's in so much pain and getting weaker. The creature seems to be getting stronger. The energy continues to pour out of her into the creature. She's getting weaker and weaker. It looks like she's about to pass out. Until suddenly, somebody rugby tackles the creature to the ground. Sophie falls over and looks up. The doctor is on top of the creature, struggling to restrain it.
See, I think this is the point where you run.
Sophie gets up as fast as she can and runs. Once she is far up the street, the doctor gets up off the creature, moves back, and takes out a device which looks like a small personal fan. He starts it up. Electronic energy comes out of it, hitting the creature. The energy from the fan device has clearly affected it. The creature bursts into flames. It looks like it's about to perish, when suddenly it strikes the doctor with a burst of energy, which sends him and the device flying. The doctor is on the ground, but the device is far away from him. Suddenly, as the flames seemingly extinguish themselves, the creature leaps at the doctor with his vicious teeth, puts his head back to prepare to strike. The doctor looks worried. Just as it seems it's about to reach the doctor, there's a shot of electric energy which hits the beast and turns it to dust right on top of the doctor. The doctor looks round. Sophie is standing in the middle of the road, petrified, with the fan-like weapon in her hands.
Who taught you how to fire a microblaster? A homemade one at that.
I just stopped whatever the hell that thing was from eating you. And you're asking me how I know how to fire a button on a magic fan thingy?
I actually think I saved your life first, you'll find, but yes, thank you.
You're welcome, I think.
Oh. That was a close one. I've never seen one of those before. Didn't think I would see one on Earth either.
So what was... Wait a minute. What do you mean you didn't think you would see one on Earth?
It's called a Tiromal. It's a predator which belongs on the planet Costa Pino. Very warm planet. About 100 degrees warmer than here, which is why I'm surprised to see it on Earth.
Wait. You're telling me that thing was an alien?
Yep. That is exactly what I'm telling you. You okay with that?
I think so. I mean, with all the stuff that's happened in the last 20 years, I'm not going to say I don't believe in aliens.
Oh, well, yeah, good. Because you're looking at one.
Yeah, which I just barbecued into oblivion thanks to your fan. Oh my god. I'm a killer? I can't attend another RSPCA march again.
True, yes, you are a killer.
Oh, cheers. You really know how to help a gal.
But I wasn't meaning the Tiromal, I was meaning me. I'm an alien.
Aye. And I'm Mother Teresa.
Very pleased to meet you, Mother Teresa. I'm the doctor. You look a little bit different from the last time I saw you. And excellent aim, by the way.
Doctor? Doctor who? Wait, you weren't joking?
Nope.
You're an actual alien?
Yep.
From outer space?
Yep.
Someone must have put something in my drink. Either that or I'm dreaming.
Well, neither. This is all very, very real. Unfortunately.
The doctor walks over and examines the body. He takes out his sonic screwdriver and scans the lifeless man.
I'm Sophie, by the way. Sophie McElveny. Is he dead?
Yes. A Tiromal drained him of any energy he had and then disposed of him in a rather horrific way. If I hadn't jumped on it, you would have been next.
Poor guy. If living on the streets wasn't bad enough, an alien smashes him into the windscreen of a car. What kind of energy was it taking from me?
The doctor gives Sophie a stern look, reminding her someone has just died. Sophie realises how she sounded.
'Cause I felt it. I just felt trapped, and it was like exhaustion was overcoming me. I still feel it now.
Oh yeah, well, wait until the adrenaline stops flowing. You're gonna crash and burn. Tiromals, they don't just eat their prey in Costa Pino. They extract their prey's natural energy. You see, humans have all their energies liquidized, so their bodies can run off it. However, the Tiromal can adapt that into a natural gas and absorb it. But the thing is, these creatures are greedy little pains in the backside, so they absorb all the energy humans have, causing them to have heart failure, which is what happened to him.
So the car didn't kill him?
No.
And what you're saying is these creatures turn humans' energy into farts?
No, not at all. That's... yeah, in a very reductive sense. Not as disgusting as that, okay? They extract the energy through the pores in your skin.
Oh. So not a fart-eating monster then?
Aha, and that is my cue to leave. It was very nice meeting you, Sophie McElveny. And thank you for saving me from the whole dying thing.
Wait! You can't just leave!
Yes, I can. That's what I'm good at, leaving.
Surely you want a stiff drink after that ordeal.
No. Nope, sorry, I don't drink alcohol. It brings me out in a rash.
The doctor walks away.
Okay. What about a cup of tea?
The doctor stops and rolls his eyes.
Fine.
We're now inside Sophie, Megan and Debbie's flat. It's 3:15 in the morning. Sophie's flat is rustic, with a rather cosy and hipster feel to it. The doctor is sitting, sipping a cup of tea, while Sophie is pacing. The doctor looks frustrated.
Please, sit down, you're freaking me out. You're gonna wear a hole in the floor.
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
Sophie sits down across from the doctor.
So, what planet are you from then?
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, well, still, it would be nice to know what planet the random guy sitting in my flat after I shot an alien for him is from.
Okay, yeah, if you must know, I'm from Gallifrey.
Ah, so you're a Gallian?
A galleon?
Like the name of your species? Is it called Gallian? Like how I'm a human?
Oh, no, you could call me a Gallifreyan, but usually our species are better known as Time Lords or Time Ladies. That kind of depends on how our regenerations go.
Time Lords and Ladies? Regeneration? Have you ever been told you're a walking mind?
It's complicated. Our species are one of the most historic and possibly most hated in the galaxy. That's why you honestly probably really don't want me to be hanging around here.
So basically, you're like Terminator. Is that what you're saying?
Do I look like a cyborg to you? Do I resemble former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Dunno. You could be, though.
I'm nothing like Terminator, right?
Oh. Do you live on Earth?
No.
How long have you been here?
A couple hours. I popped by for a visit just before meeting you.
Have you been before?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah. How many?
More than I can really count.
Is this your first time in a while?
Well, for you, I was here last year. But for me, it's been 82 years.
You're definitely a walking contradiction. You know that?
Sophie picks up her tea from the table and takes a sip.
Well, yeah, I suppose time travel is a contradiction. Ooh,
Time what?
got a little bit on that. Oh, you got a little bit on me. That's all right.
Debbie and Megan barge into the flat door to find the doctor and Sophie sitting, looking embarrassed.
What the hell is going on in here?
Sophie! Are you alright?
Yeah. I'm fine. This is the doctor. He walked back with me.
Walk back with you? But you said that...
Oh, I see. Wait. Where did you find him?
Oh, we just bumped into each other and got talking.
Yeah, my car broke down a few streets back, and Sophie helped me start it again. It was kind enough to invite me in for a cup of tea.
Yeah, our hands were filthy. We were fixing the car for about an hour, so I thought he must have been thirsty and he could wash his hands here.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Oh my god. Sophie, you didn't tell us you had a sugar
Yes,
daddy.
thank you, Megan and Debbie.
Yeah, I best be on my way.
Oh, no, ignore us. We're just going to bed anyways. Come on, Debbie.
Have fun, you two.
Nice to meet you.
I am so sorry. They are desperate for me to find a man when I really am not interested. I hope you don't think that's what this is.
No, not at all, no.
The doctor gets up from the sofa
Where are you going?
As I said, I best get... Okay. Huh.
There's a bleeping noise coming from the doctor's jacket pocket. He takes out a new device, which is circular and looks like a piece of glass, however actually is a portable link to the TARDIS desktop. The doctor flicks through the apps on it.
Yeah, interesting.
What is that?
It's a portable device which links back to the system in my ship.
Your ship? Of course. You've got a ship.
Yeah, but that's really not the point. The alarm was to inform me that my ship has completed its scan. See, that's how I found you. I was scanning Edinburgh, trying to find this underground intergalactic bar called Pancho's. My friend Jack wouldn't shut up about it. They do amazing non-alcoholic cocktails, loads of mint in it. God, I love mint. Who doesn't love mint? You know. But that's besides the point. Anyway, the scan hadn't completed, but it found the Tiromal where you were, so I bolted up, and luckily I saved you.
And I also saved you, remember?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, the scan's completed, and it appears that there is more than one Tiromal on Earth.
You've got to be joking. How much more?
The doctor turns his device around and shows the count for the Tiromal. It's showing 1,000. Sophie is in shock. The doctor is also looking worried. We're now outside Sophie's flat. It's 3:30 in the morning. The doctor walks swiftly out onto the street with a serious expression on his face. Sophie follows behind him, looking just as confused as she has since she met this strange man.
Wait, Doctor, where are you going?
I need to do a more advanced scan aboard the TARDIS. I need to see if there's a mass amount of the Tiromals, because if they breed and multiply, they could infest Earth. Plus, Tiromals aren't clever enough to just teleport to Earth. Somebody must be behind this.
TARDIS?
Time and relative dimension in space, a.k.a. my ship.
The doctor takes out his sonic screwdriver and points it at an empty space in the street. He zaps it, and suddenly, the battered TARDIS begins to materialise in front of him and Sophie. Sophie is stunned.
What did I just witness?
My TARDIS materialising.
That's the TARDIS.
Yes.
But it's a police phone box thing.
Oh, yeah.
You fly about space in a police phone box.
And time.
What time?
Anytime.
Shut up.
What?
So you're telling me that thing...
Oh, she has feelings, you know.
Sorry. You're trying to tell me that she is a time machine?
Yep. Want to take a look?
Sure do. My life hasn't been flipped upside down enough tonight.
The doctor opens the door and steps in, leaving the TARDIS door open. Sophie walks forward slowly in anticipation and then enters the TARDIS. She closes the door behind her. The TARDIS interior has completely changed. However, it's not looking brand new. It looks rusty and battered, but it still is huge, with a stunning console and a funky time rotor. The doctor goes to the console and types, searching on a hologram that has just appeared. Sophie is looking around, absolutely gobsmacked.
Alright, that's, seems like ages since I had to navigate around Earth. And trust me, 80 years is nothing to me. But on the other hand, a regeneration does affect your memory sometimes, so hopefully I don't get us lost.
It's bigger on the inside?
Yes, it is.
You didn't think to warn me or put a sign on the door or something?
No, I like watching people's reactions. It's hilarious. I mean, would you have believed me if I'd said that?
Doc, I seen an alien smash a guy into your car tonight. And then it tried to suck gas through my pores.
That did happen, yes. I guess this really isn't too bad compared to the rest of the night. Ah, gotcha! Let's see where the Tiromals are hiding.
The doctor presses a button, and on the hologram, many red dots appear in the one area.
Okay, that's weird.
What is it?
Well, the Tiromals are all in one place.
What? Where?
Edinburgh Castle. Under the castle rock, looks like.
Good one, Doc. But seriously, like, where are they?
The doctor gives Sophie a worrying look.
Oh, great. So, what are we gonna do?
We aren't going to do anything. I'm going to Edinburgh Castle to see how 1,000 Tiromals have managed to get under the castle rock, and you are going to go back inside your flat, go to your bed, and wake up tomorrow to continue living your life, maybe with a slight hangover.
No. We fought together against a Tiromal earlier, and without each other we would have been snookered. So if you're going anywhere near those things, then I'm coming too.
Look, Sophie, you were very lovely, inviting me in for a cup of tea and, interrogating me, but I am doing this alone. You've seen what that thing was capable of. Imagine 1,000 of them. We don't stand a chance.
So why are you going to the castle then, if you think it's a death sentence?
Because I'm expendable. You're not.
Oh yeah? How so?
Well, you're human. If they drain all your energy, you're dead. Meanwhile, they'll take a while to drain my energy, and by the time they nearly kill me, I hopefully will have a plan.
What plan? Blow them up?
Well, preferably not, but it is a possibility.
With you and the castle along with it?
Yes, it could be an option.
No. One person has already died tonight, and that's enough.
Exactly. So if I don't do something, then millions could die. Don't you get that?
But why? Why are they here? Why would someone bring those things to Earth?
Sophie, I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
We are going to find out, Doctor. I'm not letting you go up there alone. So if you even attempt to dinghy me, I'll be following right behind you. You got that?
The doctor stares at Sophie with a grimly serious face. Sophie stares back stubbornly.
You really are stubborn. Has anyone ever told you that?
I get told that on a regular basis. Me ma said it's a sign of a good woman.
Fine, but you do as I say up there. We don't know who or what has brought them here.
Deal. Now let's go.
Sophie darts for the door. The doctor looks confused.
Sophie, where are you going?
Outside? We better get walking. It takes about 20 minutes to get there. Or we could get a taxi if you want.
Get back here.
Why?
Because we don't need a taxi. We've got a TARDIS.
The doctor fiddles with the controls of the TARDIS, looking smug, then flips a lever. Suddenly, the time column begins to move, making that iconic wheezing noise.
Oh. Okay.
Sophie begins to look stunned again. The rather beaten up TARDIS is flying through the time vortex. It flings itself left, and the time vortex transforms into the entrance grounds outside Edinburgh Castle. The doctor steps out of the TARDIS. Sophie follows. The doctor closes the door behind Sophie and locks it gently. The doctor turns and makes his way up to the main entrance of the castle. Sophie follows cautiously.
Wait, so are we just gonna walk up to the castle doors? Like, you didn't think of flying inside the castle?
Edinburgh Castle is totally TARDIS-proof. King James IV was scared I was going to upstage him at one of his parties, even though I see nothing wrong with adding in a bit of dubstep. Who doesn't love dubstep, right? So, he built the castle so confined, added in a ton of limestone, which he knows messes with the TARDIS's navigation system.
That's a hell of a complex story to make up.
It's not made up. I don't lie anymore. It's too tiresome, stressful.
The doctor and Sophie are now close enough to the castle drawbridge to see 2 unit soldiers standing at the door to the castle grounds. The doctor and Sophie continue to venture closer and closer.
Huh. Since when did the military patrol Edinburgh Castle?
That's weird. Do you think them being here has something to do with the Tiromal?
Well, if it doesn't, then they're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I've never seen that military uniform before.
Okay. You, an expert on military? Sorry, not to sound snarky, but...
My ex was in the armed forces, so, I know my uniforms. Besides, that's all he used to go on about.
Oh, it sounds boring. I suppose anyone who fantasizes about holding a gun is boring to me, though. But you're right. They're unit soldiers.
Unit?
Unified Intelligence Task Force. They deal with aliens like me.
The Doctor and Sophie begin to cross the drawbridge. One of the soldiers approached them, armed, pointing their gun at Sophie and the Doctor.
Stop there. This area is out of bounds. Return now or you will be detained.
Oh, alright, lads, stand down. That's no way to address your superior officer, me, the President of the world, the oncoming storm, Stormbreaker, Dr. Disco, Party Animal, aka the Doctor. Boys, I'm in charge of you, alright? I think we all know that. Now, why don't you tell me what the hell is going on here, why there are Tiromals roaming about the streets of Edinburgh?
The Doctor gets out his psychic paper. He points it towards the soldier. The soldier disarms and approaches the Doctor. The soldier takes the psychic paper. The soldier looks up from the psychic paper. He looks in awe of the Doctor, as does Sophie. Suddenly, the door at the other end of the drawbridge opens. A blonde-haired woman with pink highlights steps out, fully in black clothing with a leather jacket.
Now, the last time I checked, you lost the title President of the World in 2018. After you told us the Master was back, he was going to pretend to be you, he was going to take the title for himself, so we retracted that title. The other ones you can keep, though. I heard you just make them up yourself.
Who are you? Where's Kate? Did she quit? Does she not work for UNIT anymore?
Well, she works for UNIT. She's Chief of Operations now. We call her Striker. Like an airstrike. I'm sure you've seen plenty of those in your time, Doctor. Anyway, we're all about codenames now. Codenames are cool.
Daisy walks towards the Doctor. She takes his psychic paper from the soldier and hands it back to the Doctor.
Well, what's your code name?
Commander. Storm. But you can call me Daisy because, well, that's my name.
Oh, alright. Yeah. Well, Storm, or Daisy, or whatever. Why are Tiromals killing people in this city?
If you come in, you'll see. Follow me.
Daisy walks ahead. The soldiers follow her. She gets to the door, looks back, and signals to the Doctor and Sophie to follow her. The soldiers guard the door. The Doctor begins to walk towards the entrance. Sophie follows swiftly from behind him. They walk cautiously towards the door.
Who's she?
Sure. Seems to be a ringleader.
She's the one who's sending Tiromals into the city.
Oh, well, she's the one who's going to help us defeat them, hopefully.
The Doctor and Sophie walk through the door and into the castle grounds. Soldiers are everywhere. Daisy walks through them calmly, with the Doctor and Sophie following behind her. The Doctor and Sophie look around them. Sophie is astonished. The Doctor is unfazed, of course.
We've been here all day. Yoi! Careful with that. Don't know what it does yet. We've heard of sightings of these creatures for weeks. We didn't believe people until 2 nights ago when we were called to the aftermath of an attack. Then, using a scanner forged from Torchwood, we found out they're definitely here.
Any idea how they got here?
Yes, but... come with me.
Daisy walks into a large medieval building. The Doctor and Sophie follow on, practically dragging their heels.
Jesus, and I thought you were controlling.
Oh, she's not controlling, she's just too big for her boots, a bit like me.
Daisy, the Doctor, and Sophie enter a large hall. There's a large opening in a wall. Armed soldiers are at both sides of this opening. In the middle of the hall, there's a human-looking man strapped to a chair. He's dressed very boldly and colourfully. He has tape round his mouth and his arms handcuffed. He looks devious. 2 soldiers stand either side of him, armed. Daisy, Sophie and the doctor walk up to him.
So, is this what you guys do for fun, or is he a prisoner?
He's a prisoner. This one was found living beneath the castle grounds through that secret entrance, storing many non-terrestrial items and creatures.
Oh, some kind of hoarder.
You can say that again.
So he's where the Tiromal have been coming from.
Yep. His name is Triper. He's a Snakian.
Oh. One of the most clever species in the universe, and here he is. One of their own.
He's an alien too.
Yep.
But he looks human. Do all aliens just look like us?
Oh, no. It's actually rare for a species to look human. We're all off-breeds of the Physora, so we all kind of look like them, but this guy's species here is supposed to be the smartest branch.
He's not that smart. He's been letting Tiromals out around Edinburgh.
So it's his fault I got attacked tonight?
Yep.
Can I slap him?
Sure.
Sophie goes to slap him. The doctor grabs her arm.
Oh, come on, you don't know the full story yet. All right, and violence is never the answer.
But seriously, Doc, letting one of these things out deliberately.
Daisy, do you mind if I be humane for just a minute and let him speak?
Sure. It's shutting him up that's the real trick. Come on then, gorgeous, let's be having you. This is gonna sting.
Daisy rips the tape off of Triper's mouth with force.
Ah! Oh, that hurt. Now please, can I get something to drink? I am parched. Oh, and get me some better pieces of meat to look at, please. Those soldiers are so ugly in that uniform. So boring. You guys must have known I was coming if you were going to set up this torture chamber.
Oh, well. A Snakian setting Tiromals free on Earth. That's not really very clever, is it?
Oh, and who are you to judge? The Shadow Proclamation?
Well, I might be.
No, you don't look like someone who would mix with the Jadoon.
Shadow Proclamation?
Space police, yes.
Ah. Feeling guilty, are we?
Oh, no, Sophie, don't try and just... I'll handle it, okay? Leave the interrogating to me. All right, okay.
Okay.
All right. Feeling guilty, are we, Triper?
Sophie and Daisy look at each other. Daisy rolls her eyes.
No, not really. You see, the Tiromals are a rare breed, and I wanted to see if they would feed out of their natural habitats. More importantly, survive. Turns out they do. Just means a few fatalities, but... oh well. You see, I thought this planet was supposed to be primitive, not infested with smart little soldiers. Those guns are really no good. You understand that, don't you?
Listen, it doesn't matter how primitive the planet. You have no right to release a Tiromal somewhere populated with what they would consider to be prey. You clearly are aware of how vicious they are.
Oh, very aware. Why do you think I set them free? I don't care about this puny planet. I'm also very aware of who you are.
Oh, aren't you lovely? And I doubt it. You haven't really showcased your race's intelligence. I'm just...
You're the doctor, aren't you?
The doctor, Daisy and Sophie are seemingly shocked that Triper knows this intel.
And how do you know that?
A man who knows a lot about alien species, trying to save the Earth and spots a companion. Or two.
What did he just call me?
Oh, I've heard all about you, Doctor. But I didn't think I'd be one of the beings to flag up on your radar. Must have upped your standards.
Well, sorry to disappoint, but I ran out of autographs. Don't really give them to people like you anyway. All right, I've heard enough from him. Where are the Tiromals?
I'll show you.
Yes, that's right, Doctor. Act like you're above everybody else. Be the hero. You know, you imprint yourself upon so many people's lives. You think that being like a god makes you the most powerful being in the universe. But for most of the people or creatures you defeat, you don't ask much about them, do you? Where they're from, who their friends are, what their history is.
That's because I either already know, I don't need to know, or I don't care. Defeating someone usually means I don't need to spare a thought about them or have some long, uncomfortable sit-down chat with them like something from Who Do You Think You Are?
You know there's going to come a day where those people come back to haunt you, Doctor. The ones you didn't think were important. And that day will be the one where the Time Lord Victorious burning inside of you dies.
The Time Lord Victorious died inside me a long time ago. If you want me to know my enemies so much, then why don't you tell me, who are you?
I'm Triper, the gambler of the galaxy. With me, you're gambling whether you live or you die. And, you know, I have a feeling, Doctor, that you're a roll of the dice away from fading out of this universe.
Okay, talking time's up.
Daisy places the tape back on Triper's mouth. The doctor looks shocked, and Sophie looks worried.
Okay, so he's being teleported to a Jadoon ship tomorrow afternoon. Apparently, there's a 9-figure credit bounty for him. And we could do with some credits to purchase more resources.
And by resources you mean guns?
Yeah, but Kate told me not to mention that stuff in front of you. She knows how you feel.
You don't like guns?
Despise them.
Why?
That's a long story.
You can tell me, you know.
All right, who are you, my psychologist?
Well, I am training to be one, like.
Oh, well, that explains all the questions, doesn't it? But I'd say it doesn't really explain the desire to slap the mentally unstable psychopath back there in the face. I would say more restraint is probably going to come in handy if you want to be a psychologist.
Thanks. I think.
Anyway, shall we?
Daisy signifies the entrance in the wall, which leads down to Triper's secret lair.
Yeah, why not? I'm feeling lucky.
The doctor looks back at Triper as Sophie, Daisy, and then the doctor make their way down beneath the castle. The doctor, Daisy, and Sophie make their way down ancient stairs as they go deeper and deeper underground. They eventually reach the bottom, into something which looks like a corridor carved from rock. There are modern lights on the ceiling and the wall. The corridor seems endless, as well as modern lights on the wall. There are hundreds of panels and doors right down the corridor on both sides. The doctor walks cautiously to the first 2 windows. Daisy and Sophie lurk clumsily behind. Inside the left-hand side panel is a large flower-like creature which is covered in what looks like blood. On the other side, there's a human-like being, except it is as white as a ghost, almost merging into the walls. The only thing which separates it from the wall is its bright blue eyes. The doctor turns to face Daisy, who is now examining the windows.
Have you been down here yet?
Yeah, but I'm more of a fighter than a scientist. We have some experts arriving tomorrow. I suppose we don't need them now you're here.
This is a Klesper. It's a keeper of worlds. It kills anything that isn't a Klesper. You see, that blood hints to me that the Tiromals aren't the only ones being fed sacrifices.
It looks like a plant.
Kind of. It's more animated though, less defenseless.
What about this guy over here? We tried to work the intercom and unlock all the doors, but no such luck. All biometric controls.
The doctor goes to the window of the pure white creature.
Oh. Look what he did to you. This is a Physora. The species I was talking about. They're an ancestor species of humans. You wouldn't be alive without them. I wouldn't be alive.
They still exist now.
No, they all died when their planet disintegrated, billions of years ago. This one's been ripped out of time by Triper.
Poor guy. It looks so ill.
These cells are evidence that Triper isn't a gambler. He's a monster.
Does this guy speak?
No, not really, no. Unlike humans and Time Lords, they are a species which only communicate vocally under certain circumstances. Body language is how they mainly communicate. Let's see if I can get you out of here.
The Doctor takes his sonic screwdriver out his pocket. He points the sonic at the door's biometric lock and zaps it.
By the way, what is that thing?
Wow, you are new.
It's my sonic screwdriver. It's good at opening things, but clearly this door is deadlock sealed. You're gonna need to get a pneumatic decoder down here as soon as possible. They don't look too good in there.
On it. See you in a few.
Daisy leaves the Doctor and Sophie. The Doctor walks along to the next glass panelling and looks in. Inside there's a Silurian on the floor, looking ill. The Doctor continues walking through the corridor with Sophie following by his side.
Are you okay, Doc?
No. I'm not. Not really.
Why the hell would someone keep these creatures in here?
He's a collector. Or, as I see it, an enslaver of other species.
But why here? Why Earth?
As he said, basic planet, easy place to lay low. And where else more perfect than below a castle?
The Doctor stops in his tracks. He looks in horror into one of the glass panels.
Out of all the species in the galaxy, that abomination is not one I expected he would be able to detain.
What is it?
Inside the glass panelling is a rusty and damaged-looking Dalek.
That is a Dalek.
I remember them. From when I was a kid. It was them above London, wasn't it?
Yeah. They always survive.
The Doctor looks at the door's biometrical lock screen. They press a button. It comes up showing life signs. There is none.
Well, this one didn't survive.
Seems that Triper is even able to destroy the strongest of races.
While the Doctor stares in intrigue at the Dalek's cell screen, Sophie looks at the ground, where she sees something which looks like a vault door. She approaches it cautiously.
Doctor?
What's
this?
The Doctor turns and notices the door in the floor.
Interesting. Seems to lead somewhere, perhaps a below corridor?
Shall we open it?
What a stupid question. The answer is obviously yes.
The Doctor tries to open the vault. It's locked.
Fortunately, this door isn't biometric and can be opened right up by my sonic screwdriver. There we go.
The Doctor once again gets out his sonic screwdriver and sonics the vault-looking door built into the ground. The Doctor opens the vault-like door. In this door, there are steps down into a pit. This pit is filled with rabid Tiromals, begging to be let free. The Doctor and Sophie look down in horror. After a few seconds, the Doctor closes the opening and looks at Sophie. Daisy has emerged from upstairs with some techie geek who is decoding the doors.
Oh, so you find the opening to the Tiromal's pit? Yeah, I locked that. Not a fan.
You didn't think that maybe this should have been the first thing that you bring to my attention? Is that not possibly a wise idea?
Yeah, you show us the dying beings, but not the rabid Tyrrell thingy's pit.
Well, I didn't want to alarm you.
Well, at least they're secure. We could just leave them there.
No, not an option. They are a living being. Without food, they'll die. I'm making sure that we don't lose any more lives, including the Tiromals.
Way to make me feel guilty.
To be fair, the one you killed couldn't be helped, right? But these guys can easily be teleported back to their planet if we find a way, logistically, to do that.
Great, so what's the plan?
Yes. I'm glad you asked. I don't have one.
I think we're in for a long night.
In the palace hall, Triper is still sitting in his chair. Unit soldiers still surround him. Triper is very still. He slowly looks to his left at one of the soldiers. He then looks to his right at the other soldier. The soldiers remain standing guard, unfazed by their prisoners mumbling from beneath the tape around his mouth. The soldier to the left of Triper sighs, moves in front of Triper.
What do you want?
The soldier rips the tape violently off of Triper's face.
That is so much better. Thank you so much. I had an itch right in the corner. And you are incredible at ripping off tape. Let me tell you, you really hit the spot. I'll tell you that much.
Right, great. So can I put this back on now, or is there anything else you would like?
Oh yes, you know that drink I mentioned earlier? Honestly, surprise me with it. I'd really like something crazy, cuckoo, go mad. Oh, and yes, and between us, if you come a little bit closer, I'd really like to ask you a question. Would your family like to bury you or cremate you?
What? Triper smirks deviously. From behind his back, Triper clicks his handcuffed fingers loudly. All the doors to the outside of the palace hall slam shut. Suddenly, from the ancient ceiling above, plaster drops down onto the floor as 4 massive silver laser cannons drop down. They begin to rotate. They aim at the soldiers. The soldiers in the hall below stumble, take aim, and fire at the guns. But it's no luck. They are bulletproof. Back in the underground passage, the Doctor, Sophie, and Daisy hear the bullets from above. The techie guy stops decoding and looks up, worried.
What the hell was that?
Sounds like gunshots. You 3 stay here, I'll go up.
No! You know more about these species than me. If he can decode those doors, I need you to help make sure the civilian species are safe and the dangerous species are contained. I'll go up. Those are my colleagues up there anyway. If anything happens, look after them.
Of course, Mum.
Daisy winks. The Doctor gives her a cool little salute. Daisy heads up the stairs. The Doctor and Sophie look at each other, worried. Back in the palace hall, the soldiers are still shooting at the laser cannons. Nothing is impacting them. Triper clicks his fingers again. Suddenly, dark orange lasers fire at the soldiers rapidly, turning them to ash. Within seconds, the hall is empty, except from Triper, who is sitting smirking away on his chair. There is the sound of soldiers banging the external doors to get into the hall. Triper stretches his right hand and presses the skin on his left wrist. Suddenly, both his arms go orange and heat up. They melt the metal handcuffs until they're nothing but liquid on the hall's floor. Triper stretches out his arms, clicks his neck, and stands up. He looks around at the carnage he has caused. The laser cannons are still hanging down from the ceiling. Daisy emerges from the opening to the underground tunnels. She's devastated at the hell she's just walked into.
Amanda Storm. How nice to see you. I hope you don't mind. I did a bit of cleaning up while you were down, checking out my crib. It's nice, isn't it? What do you think?
Triper raises his hands.
Sensory technology. From Earth, actually, of course not current day Earth. You do try your best, though. Earth 68 years in the future, 2088. Oh, what a year.
I would recommend you sit back in your chair, Triper. All it would take is one bullet to end this. Whether that's from me or my team, you have no way of getting out of here alive. This place is surrounded.
No. I don't think you understand, Commander Storm. I have access to all the technology, species, and, well, anything there was and ever will be in time and space. So you would think I would be able to block a basic Felagite scanner from a Sontaran ship Nat Torchwood now owns, or even a rickety TARDIS scanner designed by a pack of dusty old Time Lords. Wait, no, I can actually block them, yes, I forgot.
What is this?
I thought it was obvious by now. A trap. Nothing more, nothing less. But a pretty stupendous one if you ask me. I sent out the Tiromal on the attack to drive in the prey I desired.
What prey?
The Doctor. As if I didn't plan for the Doctor to be enticed in here tonight. The rarest species in the universe. An unknown species. Even the Time Lords couldn't figure out who the Doctor is or where they came from. So, I'm going to do their job for them. Keeping the Doctor captive in my little collection is my desire. And even better, I'm going to scan their DNA throughout time, space, and the unlimited realities.
Nah, I don't think you are.
Oh, is that so? Please, tell me, why do you think that?
Daisy reaches into her jacket and brings out a handgun.
Because you'll be too busy rotting in hell!
Daisy fires her gun. The bullet from Daisy's gun fires rapidly through the air until suddenly it is suspended in a force field in front of Triper.
Nice try.
Triper flings his arms forward. The bullet suspended in the force field turns around and shoots Daisy right in the stomach. Daisy grabs her stomach. She's in pain.
Oh. Bye-bye, Commander Storm.
Daisy falls to the ground. Triper, still smirking away, presses the palm of his right hand and puts it in front of his mouth.
Deadlock seal the hall.
Metal doors rip down from the palace's door frames and seal every door in the hall, apart from the entrance to the underground passage. Triper goes to Daisy, who is still struggling on the ground, and he takes her handgun. Triper smirks, and he then makes his way towards the entrance of the underground passage. Back down in the underground passage, the techie guy is decoding the doors with an alien-looking device. The Doctor and Sophie are standing by, waiting for the doors to open.
How long we got till these doors are open?
I'm estimating 2 minutes.
We might not have that.
That was gunshots we heard.
Yeah, I think so.
Why were there gunshots?
Sophie, I don't know. There could have been a Tiromal returning or something.
And would guns stop it?
The tech guy looks up nervously at the Doctor.
Doctor, I said would guns stop it?
No, okay, probably not.
Oh, well then you don't need to worry. Not a Tiromal. Just little old me. Hi!
What the hell? But he was handcuffed to a chair.
The tech guy stands up and pulls a mini handgun from his pocket.
Stop right there. I order you under the intergalactic
Shut up.
rules and regulations
Bye-bye.
of...
Triper pulls out Daisy's gun and shoots the tech guy. The tech guy drops lifeless onto the ground. The Doctor checks his pulse.
Why did you have to do that?
He was touching my collection. I don't like it when people touch my collection, especially geeks with spots and greasy hair. Oh, good God. Have they heard of shampoo?
You're a monster.
Oh, honey. I'm just getting started.
No, you're not. I'm stopping you right here.
Oh, is that so, my dear Doctor?
Yes. I take it the gunshots were the soldiers. What happened to them?
Oh, them. Yes, they went sleepy bye-byes, didn't they? Them and Commander Storm.
Daisy?
What did you do to her?
Reversed her bullet using sensory technology. Also used a Kelseri shield to block the bullet, and brought down neometric laser cannons from the ceiling using the sensory technology to kill all those soldiers. Not so stupid now, am I, Doctor?
No. You're incredibly stupid. What's snaky and kills people and needs a collection of species? What do you get from it?
What else? Power. Some of these species are interesting, some are endangered, and some are just totally extinct. A bit like you, Doctor.
What?
Triper notices the decoder.
Oh, you wanted in the Physora's cell. Well, why didn't you just say?
Triper rips the decoder off the door's monitor. He begins stamping on it viciously until the decoder is in pieces.
Oh, dearie me. What a terrible accident. Butterfingers.
You are a complete psychopath. Why would you do this?
Triper puts his finger on the door's thumb reader. The cell to the Physora opens.
I did this to add the ultimate species to my collection.
What species?
Please, try to keep up yours, Doctor.
Triper grabs Sophie quickly, restrains her and points his gun to her head.
Stop, do not hurt her. Enough people have died tonight.
Sonic screwdriver and TARDIS key. Please, we don't want to make a mess of things now, do we?
Doc, don't do it.
Sonic and key. Now!
The Doctor chucks his Sonic and TARDIS key to Triper. Triper catches them both and puts them in his pocket.
Now, if you would please, get into that cell.
What?
Get into the cell, Doctor, or your precious little human dies.
Okay. Just don't hurt her.
The Doctor walks into the cell slowly.
I'm sorry, Sophie.
I'm chill. I'm cool. Don't worry.
The Doctor is now in the cell. Triper presses the monitor. The door slams shut and locks.
You see, the one thing that can be guaranteed is that the Doctor will always run with stupid, inferior humans. And oh, they make such good cannon fodder.
Triper releases Sophie. She slaps him across the face.
Ooh. You've got a feisty one here, Doctor.
Gun or no gun? Either shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you, you creep.
Oh, will you?
Triper now straps gravity cuffs to Sophie's wrists and ankles. Sophie struggles as Triper sits her down outside the cell across from the Doctor. The Doctor checks on the Physora. The Physora looks ill. The Doctor stands back. He goes to the glass panel and looks at Triper.
How do you know so much about me?
Ah, now there's a question.
Yeah, now answer it.
I told you, Doctor. There's a lot of people you've underestimated. Enemies that have survived. And with their survival, they have spread your secrets around time and the universe, including your origin. Now, if you think you have been drawn here purely by coincidence, then you really aren't as intelligent as those tales say. I sent out the Tiromal out there to draw you in, and that signal that reached your TARDIS was sent from here. Finally, after years of waiting, I have you right where I want you. The timeless child.
Oh, they've got it wrong.
Oh, is that so?
There's more to that story than you could ever begin to understand.
What's he talking about?
A story about who I am.
Oh, the little Earth girl doesn't know.
Yeah, neither do you.
Perhaps I don't know the full tale, but I don't need to know. I can find out myself one day, and I can scavenge the most advanced technology in all of time and space and bring it here. But all I need to know right now is that you're rare. I have the Doctor. Think of the pride you add to my collection. Oh, and speaking of collection...
Triper claps his hands. From above, a rock begins to lower to the ground to reveal a treasure trove of weapons and devices.
I do love a segue.
What the hell is all that stuff?
More of his collection. Weapons. And little devices which he uses to get species behind these cells.
Once the shelves of alien devices hits the ground, Triper takes out a Game Boy looking device. He raises the antenna and presses a few buttons. He points the device into a corner, presses a button and stands back. Nothing happens.
What was that supposed to do?
Oh, what? The little Earth girl doesn't know again? Open a dimensional field.
A dimensional field for what?
Oh, you're going to love it. For this.
Triper takes the Doctor's Sonic out of his pocket and zaps it at the corner. Suddenly, the TARDIS begins to materialise.
You said the castle was TARDIS-proof. Doctor!
It was until he introduced the dimensional field.
Who needs the cheap and nasty time travel of a vortex manipulator when you have a TARDIS?
Listen, you've got me, you've got the TARDIS, set Sophie free. Then take me and the rest of your collection to a different planet. Why do you need to be here on Earth?
Why? Because it pains you so much, Doctor. You don't like the danger being so near to your dear Earth, full of your little friends. That's why I'm here. Like I said, humans make such good cannon fodder.
You've got Doc in the cell. What more could you want?
The power of regeneration.
The power of what?
Regeneration. This is power I have. It lets me cheat death and change my body. Not a chance, Triper.
Change your what now?
The Time Lords did it. Why can't I?
Low blow. But the difference is I didn't have any control back then, but I have control now, and I am saying no.
I'm giving you one last chance, Doctor.
Well, what's the matter? There's nothing in your collection to extract my power by force?
Perhaps not. But I assumed you disagree, so what if I tell you that if you don't give me your power, I will unleash all of the Tiromals beneath this corridor into the streets of Edinburgh, and they will slaughter the entire local population and then the world. You clearly are aware of how dangerous they are.
You can't. Triper, you can't.
Oh, can't I? You see, telling me I can't do something only entices me to do it more. Suppose I'm kind of childish like that, really.
If you let the Tiromals out of that door, they'll kill you and most likely most of your precious collection. And you definitely don't seem like the type to be so self-destructive.
The collection? Oh. Unfortunately, maybe. But me? No. I'll be safe and sound in this little baby.
Triper pats the TARDIS.
You think 1,000 Tiromals aren't going to be able to break down the doors of the TARDIS?
Not with the shields on full capacity. Am I right, Doctor?
And how are you going to locate the shields? You definitely don't know the controls of a TARDIS console.
Oh, don't I?
How could you?
Or perhaps while I was hopping about time and space, I ended up procuring a manual from Arcadia.
It's time locked.
Oh well, then I must be a magician.
You're a creep, even though I have no idea what you're talking about.
Last chance, Doctor. Will you give me the power of regeneration? Yes or no?
No.
Then so it must be.
Triper goes to the hatch in the ground which leads down to the pit of Tiromals. Triper rotates the hatch handle.
Nothing is ever easy with you, Doctor. Is it?
Suddenly, there is the sound of something beeping. Triper turns around to find Daisy, surrounded by unit soldiers with one hand clenching a handgun and the other clutching a metal pen-looking device, which has a flashing green light.
I warned you. Time to rot in hell.
No!
Daisy shoots the handgun. This time it hits Triper straight in the shoulder. A tech woman comes in, puts a USB in a computer system and monitor, which is located just before any of the cells. She presses the monitor. The doctor's cell opens. The doctor walks up to Triper. He sees the bullet hole. The doctor takes back his sonic and TARDIS key.
Tell me, who is this group of people who knows so much about me?
You're scared. Oh, the doctor is scared.
I just want to know who my enemies are.
Now there's a change. We're the Confederate. The Confederate of Chaos.
Daisy takes a device from one of the soldiers and walks up to Triper.
Oh yeah, and by hell, I meant a Jadoon prison ship.
Daisy places this device on Triper.
No, you stupid little...
Triper teleports. There is a sigh of relief as he does so.
Thank you.
Daisy passes her gun and device to a nearby soldier. She then clutches her still wounded stomach.
You're lucky he's got bad aim.
Not really.
Sophie nods to the tech guy on the floor. Dead. A soldier puts a sheet over his body. Soldiers begin to go up and down the corridors. They enter the cell and gently check the Physora. The doctor runs up to Sophie, sonics her gravity cuffs off her wrists and ankles. Sophie stands up and hugs the doctor.
Oh, stop being cute now. We really need to know what we're going to do with all this stuff.
The doctor and Sophie stop hugging.
Thank you.
The doctor, Daisy, and Sophie turn around to see the Physora standing behind them.
I will be forever grateful to you, madam. You saved me from the claws of hypocrisy.
Oh, it's no problem. Just another day at the office.
I have never heard a Physora speak before. May I say, it is an honor to be in the presence of one of your kind.
And you, Sir Doctor, who seems so familiar to this world, yet you are far from home. Perhaps you should return there soon.
The doctor looks serious.
Doctor, sorry to interrupt, but we really should be getting on. I want to be out of here before opening time. You should see the roof up there. Triper really knows how to make a mess.
The soldiers guide the Physora back into its cell as they continue their checkup.
He is a mess. Honestly, I think I know what I'm going to write my dissertation on now.
A madman in a box?
No.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I'm fed up of being a case study.
What then?
How the confirmation of aliens' existence affect the mental health of the human race.
Good luck with that one.
Oh, wait!
What?
Oh, we are so stupid! Oh, we've been looking at how we can send all these species home as if there isn't a solution already in front of our faces.
Well, if there is, then please point out, Doctor.
The doctor runs up to the monitor at the start of the corridor. He presses a few buttons. Daisy and Sophie look from behind, clueless as to what this madman is doing.
Yes! Spot on, I knew it.
Knew what, Doc?
Look on the monitor, you see that? Abandoned ship, you know what that means?
Triper had an exit strategy.
Exactly, which means...
The doctor goes into the Physora's cell and rips open the panel in the ceiling. He gets his sonic screwdriver out and zaps the roof. He then brings the sonic down right in front of his eyes and examines it.
Yes!
The doctor runs out, back to Daisy and Sophie.
If Triper used a vortex manipulator, there is no way he would be able to transport some of the species he has here just by using that. So instead, he gets them sent directly here via tractor beam. And if I fidget about with this monitor...
The doctor runs back to the monitor, uses his sonic, presses a few buttons, and gives it one big whack.
Ha! Got it. Okay, Physora, it's time to send you home.
The doctor goes up to the cell and gets soldiers out of there.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you, Doctor.
The doctor then closes the Physora cell and then turns to the monitor.
Okay, Doc. What are you trying to do?
Send the Physora home first. Check the connection works, and then send every other being, including the Tiromals, back to their planet of origin.
Sounds like a good plan. Let's just hope it works.
Oh, it will! Oh, here we go. 3, 2, 1...
The doctor presses the monitor violently. Suddenly, an explosion of colour engulfs the Physora cell. It eventually fades. Once it fades, it reveals an empty cell. The doctor walks up to the cell, looks, then he returns to the monitor, sonics it.
They work.
What?
They're home! They're home! Alright, now the rest, every single one.
The Doctor presses the monitor several times and one more time violently. An explosion of colour blinds the room. Outside Edinburgh Castle's entrance, the Doctor, Daisy, and Sophie are standing outside the TARDIS. Unit's military vehicles are speedily vacating the premises.
You know, when they said that meeting you would be the day I understood why UNIT exists, I never took it seriously. But now, well, I get it.
Trouble has a way of following me, but at least UNIT are there to cover my back. Sometimes.
Well, I mean, you helped us out. God knows what we all would have done without you. Probably would have been here for months trying to get aliens out via a vortex manipulator.
Now that would be awful.
I don't get it. Triper did all of this for you, Doc. And he seemed to know a lot about you. How did he know?
Apparently, it's all to do with the so-called Confederate of Chaos, or so he says. I've never heard of them. Imagine I'll probably bump into them somewhere in my future. They sound like a heavy metal band to me. I'm really not a fan of heavy metal.
Here, nothing wrong with a wee bit of AC/DC, like.
That is not heavy metal. That's rock. If you think that's heavy, you should listen to my Spotify playlist. Anyway, on that note, I best be heading before the castle employees come in and see the mess of their ceiling. Luckily, we managed to take the laser cannons, though. With them and the credits from the Shadow Proclamation for Triper, this mission has been a success.
Well, Commander Storm, it's been good meeting you. And if you ever need a run in the TARDIS, you're very welcome.
Please, call me Daisy. And I might take you up on that, Doctor. Sophie, look after him.
Will do, gal. Behave yourself.
No promises.
Daisy hugs Sophie. Just as a posh unit-branded car pulls up, Daisy jumps in the passenger seat. The car drives off. The Doctor unlocks the TARDIS's door and steps in. Sophie waves Daisy off and then steps inside the TARDIS. Inside the TARDIS, the Doctor is at the console, mucking about. Sophie comes in and closes the TARDIS door hesitantly behind her.
You know, I absolutely love this city. Filled with history, drama, and beauty. It's a shame I've not had the time to drop by recently. I'm just glad I was able to help a little bit in stopping Triper from destroying it.
I mean, I knew I was going for an eventful night out, but not this eventful.
I bet you weren't expecting something like this, huh?
Nope. But I wasn't much help, was I?
You were brave. That's all I needed, a brave friend.
Aw, you weren't so bad yourself. Anyway, I best be getting home. I'm sure you have other worlds to visit or something. And I can definitely feel myself starting to crash and burn now that the adrenaline has stopped.
Well, I was gonna ask, why don't you come with me to those worlds?
You what?
Come with me. I mean, if you want to, obviously. I don't have anyone to go with, and I haven't really been out adventuring in so long, especially not with a friend. And we've had a laugh, you know, haven't we?
Is it always like this?
Well, yes.
Always this dangerous?
I try to avoid it, but sometimes.
Then I can't.
Okay, I understand, don't
Refuse.
What?
I can't refuse an offer like that.
You'll come with me?
Of course. Oh, here comes the adrenaline again.
Sophie smiles. She then jumps on the Doctor. They both hug. The Doctor lets go.
Okay. Before we go, I need to tell you some things.
Oh no. I hate rules.
Oh, there's only a few, but first, I need to let you know that, look, I've just been in a very long battle. I lost a lot of people.
A battle? Like a war?
Yeah, a war.
What were you fighting for?
My people. Someone wanted to slaughter thousands of our kind. I managed to stop them, but hundreds of the Battle Planet's natives died, protecting me and the Time Lords.
But thousands survived. Isn't that good?
Losing one single person isn't good, never mind hundreds. So, I need you to know that what happened tonight won't happen again. I will not see another person die, not for me. Next time, I won't be so resistant.
I thought you said you weren't like the Terminator.
I'm not.
Well, stop sounding like Arnie and take me to a planet, Doc. Whatever happens, happens. But you'll have me in your ear telling you if you're being an idiot.
Sounds like a deal. Okay, so, of all time and space, everywhere that ever will be or ever was, where do you want to go first?
A planet very, very far away from here.
A planet very, very far away from here? It is.
The Doctor goes round the console, pressing buttons and pulling levers. Sophie watches, laughing, until the Doctor pulls one final lever. The TARDIS begins to take off. The TARDIS dematerialises from outside Edinburgh Castle. As it disappears, a surviving Tiromal emerges from a lane further down from the castle, and it begins to walk down the Royal Mile. Suddenly, without warning, there is the sound of a power surge. The Tiromal bursts into flames. It gives out a yelp and disintegrates into ashes. Standing where the TARDIS was is Tilda. She looks like a goddess, with a crystal cane pointed at where the Tiromal was. She has a serious expression on her face. Behind her is a rip in time.
You can't run forever, Doctor. Gallifrey will be waiting.
Tilda walks through the rip in time. The rip seals behind her, leaving only the sound of the wind in the quiet ancient streets of Edinburgh. Doctor Who, Beginnings of Battle, starring Harry Aspinwall as the Doctor, Sophie Weller as Sophie, Max Darke as Triper, Abbie Davidson as Daisy, Briony Martha as Megan, Rachel Johnstone as Debbie, Maisy Crunden as Tilda, David McKie as Soldier, Courtney McCrea as the Physora, Thomas Bohanna as Unit Tech Geek, Faizan Naseer as the voice of the Tiromal. Music was composed by Rebecca Kelly. This episode was directed, written and narrated by Lewis C. Baird. All rights are reserved to the BBC for any characters, institutions and objects featured within this audio drama from the original Doctor Who television series. Thank you for listening.